What's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show, brought to you by a massive late fee. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my girlfriend Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, you've had a good week here, have you?
Yeah.
It is October 12th, 1995. We've got some new listeners. I think the website is working, the web page, and we've got some new listeners
We're really
here. So
cranking out the tapes. And
welcome if you're a first-time listener.
Happy to have you.
And if you're a long-time listener,
Thanks.
we've already forgotten about you. No, I'm just joking. If you're a long-time listener, obviously, you guys are the best. You know, as good as the new listeners.
Rad.
You're all equal.
What?
Just have a dictionary in front of you. Just trying out new words. Someone should write a slang dictionary. The history of slang. I'll bet you there's a book called The History of Slang somewhere.
We'll go to the library later and look it up.
Slang. Anyway, so this week we watched, what did we watch?
90210.
That's true. 90210.
Isn't that the show we're recording right now?
So what happened on 90210, Carol?
Okay, so it was... I'm trying to
Wow.
I was trying to remember the two different episode titles it was given, and I couldn't
Shooting
remember
Star.
both of them. I only remember An American in Paris.
Yeah, Shooting Star and An American in Paris
Okay.
were the episode titles.
So, Brenda does a little bit of her own cheating.
I guess. I mean, well,
I guess.
Well, that's really jumping off at the end of the episode.
No, it's at the beginning of the episode that she meets this dude who thinks that she's French.
She meets Superman.
Yeah.
Obviously not at the time Superman, but he's Superman now.
Yeah.
Dean Cain.
And he is an American in Paris thinking that she's French and talking about how his whole life he's like wanted to meet and fall in love with some French lady and that she's like it. Mm-hmm. And she decides to just fuck with him at first, but then she likes him.
With the worst French accent ever.
Yeah, how does he think that's real?
I'm from France and I talk like this. My name is Brenda.
Yeah. She didn't even bother to try to change her name.
To a French sounding name.
Right.
My name's Tiffany.
And she's like, if you'd rather meet a Marie.
Right. She thought of all the better names she could have come up with. And so
right.
He's like, no, it's fine.
So, yeah, so she's pretending she's French. She shows him around Paris and lies the whole time. Mm-hmm. Kind of pisses me off because he seems like a nice dude.
Well, he's very handsome. All the ladies fall in love with him instantly.
Yeah, it's funny.
It is Dean Cain.
Yeah. So she's, showing him around and she's maintaining a healthy distance, I guess. But I mean, it's like you're obviously playing with fire. What?
I just like she's got a measuring tape and she's making sure that she's a healthy distance from him.
You know what I mean. I don't think she crosses any lines initially.
Really? The whole thing is crossing lines.
You think?
He clearly likes her. Like he says it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, well, I'll give you a tour of the city and I'll continue to flirt with you and eat dinner with you and all this stuff. I think like the whole time, I think she's playing with fire.
Okay.
I think she's crossing some line. She just crosses the Rubicon towards the end of the episode.
You know what I think is the worst part of this, though, is he's only in town for 2 days. Mm-hmm. And he wants to be shown around Paris.
And she's almost gone.
She's
too.
leaving. Yeah, she's leaving at the end of his 2 days, too, I think.
Yeah.
So it's her last 2 days. It's his only 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And is she really the one to show him Paris? I mean...
He thinks she lives there.
But she's a tourist. Like, does she know, really? I think, he'd probably get a better tour from somebody else.
Well, yeah, he'd get a better, look at the buildings, but, he wouldn't get his tongue sucked as well. But yeah, like she's been there for a month and a half.
Right.
I feel like at least the part of the city that they're in, because Paris is a large city.
True.
So the part of their city that they're in, I bet she knows pretty well.
Okay. So, yeah, she shows him around. They have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of dinner, she's trying to say goodbye without getting herself into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants her to explain the custom of kissing on the cheek. That's a cute little way to try to get a kiss, right? And it works.
Yeah. Well,
oh, it works. So Brenda ends up kissing him too.
She kisses him on the cheek, and he goes, "So that's how you kiss?" And she goes, "No. This is how I kiss." What a line.
That was funny. And she flat out lied to him at one point too, because he asked if she had many. She
flat out lied to him the entire time.
What do you mean? He asked, "Do you have many boyfriends?" And she said, "No."
No, he said, "Do you have many French boyfriends?" And she said, "No French boyfriends."
Oh, yeah.
It's a technicality.
But then she admits that there is someone else later. So like he never calls her out on lying that there was somebody else.
But she didn't. He's not a French boyfriend. We learn that Dean Cain, whatever the fuck his name is from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Wait, he is?
Yeah, he's got a big shirt that says Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, and she's from Minnesota.
And he's talking about going to UCLA. It seems like they're priming him to come back. Now, he's on Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, currently.
Right.
Because remember that this was back at 3 years ago in 1992 when this episode came out, because we're watching them on VHS. But, yeah. I don't know if he shows up anymore or not.
I feel like he will, but we'll have to wait and see.
They give him quite a role in this.
Yeah.
For him to not show up is interesting, because they give him quite a big role here.
And they didn't exchange numbers or anything, so it's got to be just a random run into him thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone. If he's in Los Angeles, everyone runs into everyone in Los Angeles. I mean, what are the odds? It's not like it's a city of 10 million people.
Of course. So she ends up making out with him till 2 a.m. She comes
Apparently.
home, and Donna's like, "Where have you been?"
There's a lot of "we had sex, but we didn't have sex" in this, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. Because, well, yeah, in both instances of cheating, it's very clear they're setting it up for our minds to be like, "Oh, we had sex," but somebody in standards and practices or whatever is like, "No, the show's got to be wholesome, and the show's got to be, you can't talk about this stuff." And they're like, "Okay, they made out. They just kissed, But it's clear that sex is implied.
So you'd rather just believe that they had sex, even though it's not what's written in the script of the show.
Don't you think that's my fantasy, is Superman and Brenda from 90210. Terry Hatcher is attractive enough.
She is. She's a pretty girl.
We don't need Shannon Doherty.
We should do an episode of that show.
Of what?
The Lois and Clark.
We did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did last year. Yes, we did.
No.
I thought we did.
No.
We were going to.
Maybe we were going to, but we didn't.
Okay. I think you're wrong, but
those of you that pay attention to shit, feel free to write in and correct me, but I don't think so.
Write into Retro Late Fee. What is it? Or go to retrolatefee.com and write us a message there, or go to latefee1994
at AOL.com.
Yeah.
So,
but I think we did.
Just like somebody wrote in to correct me on whether or not we'd done something. What was it? I don't remember now.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, we did. We did do it. I was wrong. So I'm probably just forgetting this too. But anyway.
It's probably the same episode.
Right? I was just blackout drunk at the time. Okay. So she tries to blow him off before she even kisses him, or after she... Shut up. That is not what I meant.
It doesn't work, though, because she can't do that in a French way. Wait, that's an American blowjob.
Wow.
What?
You.
Anyway. How would you do that in a French accent? If they had sex, could she keep the French accent? Oh, my God.
She barely keeps it going while they're talking.
That's the only reason she doesn't have sex with them. She can't have sex in a French accent.
Makes sense. So, she ends up pretending like, okay, she's just going to blow him off because she doesn't want him to say goodbye. Mm-hmm. He shows up at their, like...
Going away party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that when she is out with him till 2 a.m?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess it's like implied that they have sex then. I don't know. Either way,
yeah.
she was like, I had trouble saying goodbye to him.
Mm-hmm. And she's supposed to go with him. He invites her to go to the Riviera with him.
Which is ridiculous for her to agree to since she's getting on a bus and going back to the airport to go home.
Right.
But she says yes, and then she just stands him up. But she regrets it and takes off running like she's going to miss her bus. She
was going to go and do it, but he gets into a taxi cab.
She was going to do it?
Yeah.
I thought she was just going to say goodbye.
Oh, I think she was going to go.
Huh.
I think she was going to go, but he gets in a taxi cab and leaves. And... she turns around and goes back.
Wow, Brenda, that's really dumb. I mean, she first of all, her parents are paying for this trip. What money is she going to use to go to the Riviera? And secondly, Dylan, hello. I mean, we know he's a jerk and he cheated. She doesn't know. Mm-hmm. He calls her at one point like he's going to maybe tell her, but then he's like, I just wanted to hear her voice.
Yeah.
Dick.
Well, speaking of that dick, let's go to the We're in Beverly Hills section of the show.
Okay. So apparently Kelly has been avoiding him for 2 weeks.
I guess, or a week or something.
I
don't know how long takes place in between these episodes.
Well, I thought he said 2 weeks.
All right, well, fine. Then it's 2 weeks then. Because you think it.
Yes, just like I thought we didn't do Shawshank Redemption. Okay, so... He confronts her about avoiding him, and she's just like, I don't want to hurt my best friend, and,
How are they best friends? This I don't understand at all.
I don't know.
She seems closer to Donna than she does to Kelly.
For sure.
I don't understand how they're best friends. She doesn't seem to be best friends with anybody. I mean, I guess maybe Donna's her best friend, but I think Brenda's Donna's best friend. Like, I don't know. She seems too selfish for friends.
Well, obviously, I was going to say obviously not because she doesn't want to do it, but she does it. So I guess not wanting to doesn't stop her.
Right.
But he is very persistent.
But here's the thing. Before you get into it, the whole, why are you looking at me like that?
No, what?
Why? I want to know what that looks about.
Nothing. You just derailed my thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you're derailing the show.
What the fuck?
Here's the thing. They say, Kelly says, we shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have kissed. We kissed once. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I was there, it was more than that. And I thought he was referring to the fact that they did more than kiss.
Right.
But no, they're saying they just kissed. Mm-hmm. That look that he gave her when she walked into her cabana ended in just a kiss.
Right.
I don't believe it.
No.
They're not, like, that's the thing, is they're saying one thing. The script is saying one thing, but the visuals that are going, it's almost like the director and the writers aren't on the same page.
Yeah.
Because the visuals that they're showing can imply completely different things.
Oh, I agree. And
I just don't think the show has the balls to have them have sex. That's what I think.
Which is weird, because it's not like they're virgins. None of these people are virgins.
Except for Donna.
Yeah.
And David, apparently.
Yeah.
Although, who knows? Maybe that makeout was like the end of a session instead of the beginning.
I don't think so.
Right.
No, because we saw him lose his virginity in the 5th season.
We do?
When he cheats on Donna.
No, I don't think he lost his virginity then, did he?
Yeah. Because he didn't lose it with Donna.
Okay, but she asked if this was the first time.
She did?
I think so, and he said no, I thought.
Oh.
Like, and I don't know if he meant it was not the first time he cheated on her, or if he meant that they'd had sex times before that. Like, that wasn't the first time they were having sex.
Weird.
I don't know, but yeah, go ahead. So I'm just saying, I think that that it's very toothless of them to say that they're not having sex.
Yeah, well, it does not fit the character of Kelly and Dylan.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because
they both love sex.
Yeah. He got mad at Brenda for not having sex with him. That's part of why their relationship's not great right now.
Right.
So.
And Kelly apparently will sleep with anyone, even a gay guy. Even a gay guy that was on Hey Dude.
So why would she say no to the guy, as she says, she's had a crush on since first grade or whatever?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they knew each other that long. Like, they grew up together and everything.
Since he was riding a two-wheeler with sunglasses on. And I'm baby James Dean.
Right? So, yeah.
Smoking a cigarette.
He,
This 7-year-old wrinkly forehead.
God. But yeah, he just like completely like won't leave her alone. She's on the beach. He's like, come hang out with me. Come do this. Come do
He's
that.
very persistent.
So they go water jet skiing. That's it.
No, water rafting is what you're thinking of.
Jet skiing.
Yeah, jet skiing.
And it falls over and then they make out in the water.
He tips it over.
Whatever.
He did that on purpose. It looks like he makes it look like an accident, but he did that on purpose.
And he has now multiple times, because he has again this episode, talked to her in that Casablanca voice. So I mean, that's obviously a thing with them.
Apparently, well, it was the first movie they watched together or whatever. I don't know.
And
you never forget who you lose your Humphrey Bogart cherry to.
Are you going to lose your Humphrey Bogart cherry to me?
I've seen Humphrey Bogart
But
movies.
you haven't seen Casablanca?
No, but I've seen The Maltese Falcon.
Okay. I have not.
I lost that with my brother.
Ew. Gross.
All right, go ahead.
He is going camping like the night before Brenda's coming home or something.
He's going camping on the beach.
Yeah, out.
Apparently where you camp when you're in Beverly Hills, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's up on a hilltop, like
Up on the hilltop.
overlooking
Dylan
the
Sheets.
ocean. And then like he's like, it's far enough out of the city you can see the stars. And she's like, no, I don't want to come. And then she just shows up with a pizza.
Mm-hmm. And he's not even surprised.
Yeah, he doesn't even flinch. Like, that was either terrible acting, terrible directing, or terrible writing. I don't know, but it was terrible.
Or all three.
Yeah. Because that
Probably a
should have
terrible
been...
pizza, too, if we're being honest.
It should have been like this, like, oh, I didn't think you'd come moment. Not a just roll over casually, like, hey, what's up? I knew you were bringing me pizza.
Yeah. He can tell the future through the rings of smoke. He just smokes a cigarette and it's like a haze. It's just like,
Right.
Oh, she's bringing a pizza. Okay.
And then they snuggle by the fire under the stars with this forlorn look, because he said you came because you knew it was the last time we'd be able to be alone together like this.
Yeah, because apparently they're just going to go back to their normal lives after
Right.
cheating for 2 weeks or
What
whatever.
the fuck? Just break up with her.
Yeah, I
I mean,
don't
we
get it.
know they will break up, but it's like, just fucking do it. Like, the fact that he's going into this with the intention of continuing to lie and continuing a relationship with Brenda, it infuriates me.
What's Brenda going to do? Is Brenda going to tell him when she comes back?
Yes.
There was a Dean Cain in France.
I really think she will.
You know, like there is a Dean Cain type guy. Who's more handsome, Dean Cain or Luke Perry?
You know, that comes down to, like, what kind of guy are you more attracted to? Because even though they both have dark hair, so, like, I think they're both objectively handsome, it's like the good guy or the bad guy. Bad boy.
I guess. Where you come down on it?
Well, Dylan, because he's the bad boy.
Wow. See, they have different body types, though. Dean Cain's bigger.
That's true. And I don't...
stock, like
I don't-
more muscular.
I don't like muscles.
He has a Superman-like frame. He
Yeah.
looks a little like Christopher Reeve did when he was younger, which I'm sure is why they cast him.
I prefer guys in a cloud of nicotine and a thin layer of fat, rather than the big hulking guy.
Well, I don't think Dylan has a thin layer of fat. He looks pretty lean.
No, well, he's not.
I've seen him with his shirt off. He looks pretty lean.
He's not hulking. Okay?
He's got abs. You can see those abs.
I'd feed him.
Is he a dad now? Is he a dad now doing abs now?
Right? I don't know. Who do you think is more attractive, Kelly
Dean
or Brenda?
Cain. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Kelly or Brenda?
Yeah.
Kelly.
Okay.
Pretty
and
much hands down.
Why?
Well, her teeth are better, for
They
one.
are. I noticed there was one shot where like you could really see Brenda's teeth, and they were fucked up.
I told you. I've been telling you.
I never saw it
I've been
until
telling
this
you the
episode.
whole time we've been doing this. I've been telling you. But yeah, her teeth are better for one. I think she's got better boobs. Probably. It looks like it anyway.
Okay.
She's in a bikini a lot more in this episode.
She is.
they're it's medium, but yeah, I mean, just like, I don't know, overall looks, I guess.
I agree.
Neither one of them are super my type, but
I agree. She's got a prettier face, a little bit. But
are we boring you?
no, I'm sorry. I can't even say that I didn't get enough sleep or anything though, because I got so much sleep last night.
Yeah, you did.
I think my body's like rebelling against the amount of sleep I got.
You were just very exhausted last night,
Oh yeah,
so you got a lot of
you
sleep.
wore me out. So
And my cloud of nicotine.
right. So I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know like what is going to happen. I'm really upset with all of them. I mean, they've all disappointed me deeply.
They've all made bad decisions.
The only person in this show that's a main character who has not upset me, well, there's two of them. Andrea
Okay.
and Donna. They're the only ones that haven't upset me this season.
Yeah.
Yet.
Andrea can be a little... Andrea kind of upset me because she didn't go to the thing with, what's his name? The guy, the convention, the Republican convention.
She stayed for Cameron, and he's
guess.
still around. Like, they had him in this episode. He wandered off. It was
yeah.
like 30 seconds of terror.
Right. There were a few different times in this episode where it's like, what is the point of this? Like, Cameron's missing. And they play this like really dramatic music. She's like, Cameron's missing. Has anyone seen him? And Brandon's like, was he eating an ice cream last time you saw him? She goes, no. He goes, he is now. And then then the music just goes away. It's instantly deflated for no reason.
That would be a really good storyline, though, because she like all promised his mom that she could keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should lose
It
him.
would have been a good storyline if one of the homeless people in this episode had kidnapped him for a ransom.
Yes,
You really value this deaf kid, don't you?
They did do a thing with the homeless people on the beach this episode.
And I don't understand what the point of it was or what the show's point of view was.
Yeah, no, I know. It was really weird. And the storyline had like no solid conclusion at all.
No. There's homeless guys on the beach, which apparently Brandon, having worked here for 2 years, is just now noticing that there's homeless people in Los Angeles. And he's like, hey, these guys are here and they're people too. Like, they're human beings. What a concept.
Right.
And he talks to this one guy who says that he was in the Gulf War and his wife left him, took the house and the kids. I don't know how. Like, I don't know. She picked up the house and moved it to another, ran
weird.
from him. It doesn't make much sense. Like, why would you end up homeless with that? He says he has a degree in engineering and he can't get a fucking job. Like, a lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think they were trying to make him as relatable as possible.
Yeah.
But
He's not a drug addict like a lot of homeless people are.
he might be.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm sorry, but there had to be something else going on under the surface here that while he's gone in the military, his wife files for divorce and sells the house and takes his children and leaves.
Right.
Okay? So he comes home to nothing, but he still is from the military. Like, doesn't he have some kind of benefit, some kind of something? And he has a degree, like you said. So he should be able to find some kind of job.
Maybe he's a raging drug addict.
And has he no one else in his life? No family, no friends, nothing?
Right. But so Brandon wants to help him. His girlfriend, by the way, another one that doesn't die off screen.
Hate her, though.
Yeah.
I wish she had.
She gets carried over from the volleyball chick.
Ugh.
She's basically talking down about the homeless people the entire time. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's just going to buy another jug of wine. It's like the most stereotypical things you can think of. And it's like, if somebody's homeless, first of all, they're just so, like, people so often think like homelessness equals crime, which homeless people are more likely to be victims of crime than they are to commit crime.
Right.
One. And because they have, it's very, very hard for them to, go to have any recourse.
They're defenseless. They have nowhere to hide from anyone or, any ways to protect themselves, really.
And, people that have drug problems, it's a disease. Like people treat homeless people as if like it has to be their fault and they're the scum of the earth and like they're nothing. Like they treat them like they're subhuman. It's very like genocidal type talk. It's really weird and insidious when you hear some people talk about homeless people because they want to make it their fault because they don't want to acknowledge that sometimes the system fails, that sometimes the system is not perfect. And like it's like in some ways people want the homeless people there because it's like warning, like be grateful, even though you might not make as much money as you want, you're working hard and all this stuff and you're overworked and you're underpaid and everything. Be grateful that you have that job so you can afford a place to live and stuff like that, because you might end up like this scum over here. That's why they do that stuff. And it's, so Dylan's point of view is that, or sorry, not Dylan, Brandon's point of view is that he's a person, this guy Cameron,
right,
he's a vet, and he wants to try to get him a job with Henry's thing, right? And he's like, he was a Marine and you were a Marine and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I've heard all the excuses, he says.
Yeah.
And, his girlfriend's very against it. And then the guy doesn't show up for the job interview.
Which, I'm sorry, but I as Brendan was saying it to him, like when they first met on the beach, the guy said, I know I look like hell. It's kind of hard to get a shower on the road.
Right.
He still looks like hell, Brandon. You didn't give him anything to wear. You didn't offer him a shower.
Right.
He's supposed to go to a job interview smelling and wearing rags.
And yeah, Henry was like, I knew he wasn't going to come when you said it. He goes, if somebody gets low enough to where they lay on, they're on the street, it takes a lot to get them out of it.
Yeah.
Not just like one interview. And it's like, I do agree with that. Like, Brandon should have, maybe provided some more help from him and stuff.
But again, Brandon's a teenager.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
He doesn't. First of all, he's not had very many job interviews himself in life, and he doesn't have as much means to help.
Right. He did try to give him money, and the guy goes, "I didn't ask for a handout," and he turns around and walks away.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, but most homeless people, that would not be their response.
Yeah,
I mean,
nor should it be.
Right. That didn't make sense. But and I agree. Like I feel sympathy for homeless people. I would like to do things to help homeless people, but I'm a little bit nervous to do it now because I had a really bad experience once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This one guy asked me for a cigarette, and I gave him a cigarette, and he asked for a light, and I gave him a light, and he said, "Thank you so much," and then he kissed me.
Oh my gosh.
With his big, gross, there were things probably fucking crawling in it beard.
Oh no.
And I broke out in hives.
Now, is that from nerves, or do you think he gave you like a allergic?
No, it was an allergic reaction because I'm allergic to a lot of things,
right,
including dust
and desperation.
I don't know what was in his beard, but where his beard touched me, immediately I broke out in itchy hives.
Wow.
I ran and washed in the bathroom and stuff. But.
That's why I keep my beard coiffed.
So I'm never going to get super close to a homeless guy again.
Unless you get really desperate, I guess.
Not even then.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, and the bitch, the girlfriend, she has dinner at Brandon's house. So
this is another what is the point of this scene?
I think unless
fill out the episode,
maybe, but unless they were really trying to say something. I mean, it seems like they're trying to get us to hate her because I hate her.
Brandon gave her a couple sidelong looks like you're not long for this series.
Right. So she asked his parents, which one of you does he get this? What was it?
Idealism
or something? From,
yeah.
So she tells them about him helping the homeless guy, and they were proud of him.
Yeah, both of them.
And she was laughing at him because she's an evil bitch.
Yeah, it's She's from the other side of the track. She's even more highfalutin than Beverly Hills, apparently. I don't know.
I don't like her.
Well,
Get
we'll
rid of
see.
her, Brandon.
Yeah. Well, she's not going to stick around.
Throw her in the pit with the other ladies.
He's got a mass grave going. Watch out for Christina Lee's. Anyway, that is the episode for the week.
It is.
So why don't you tell the people what you usually tell them at this point?
Well, like I told you earlier, if you feel like correcting me, go ahead and write in. But, you can tell us other things, too.
You can also give us words of encouragement.
Right. Tell us who you think's hotter. So,
yeah, Dean Cain or Luke Perry. I forgot his name for a second.
Late fee 1994 at AOL.com.
Or Brandon, I guess. Brandon's in the mix, right?
He is, and so is Steve. I mean, if there's any Ian Ziering lovers out there.
If you're deranged and you think that Steve is somehow the most attractive man in the show.
Or, Brian Austin Green. I mean, just because they didn't get dolls does not mean they are not worthy.
He's real young, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in real life, he's, at this point in 92, I'm sure he's over 18. But he's got a baby face. He looks young. He needs time. I bet he'll be more attractive when he gets older.
Yeah,
he needs
probably.
time to grow into his face.
We'll see.
He's got one of those where he's very young looking, and it's like he'll get more handsome as he gets older.
All right. I think I was in the middle of an email address.
We had to cut off an email address to talk about Dean Cain and Luke Perry again.
Late fee 1994 at AOL.com.
Right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.